I wanted to start off, though, by talking about Halloween a little bit. Halloween is a special time in any young metalhead's life because anyone knows that Halloween, of all the holidays, it's the heavy metal holiday. There's no country Halloween songs. Half those country motherfuckers don't even celebrate Halloween because it's evil. You know, within hard rock and heavy metal, we embrace the occult. We embrace evil. We embrace scary. We embrace campy. We embrace all that shit. Halloween is just perfect for us. And the greatest staple of heavy metal Halloween is the Halloween house party. People try to go to bars, clubs, shit like that, looking for Halloween stuff. If you're going to have a real badass Halloween, shit's going down at the house party. Like, I don't know. What do kids do now for fucking Halloween? Do people do, like, y'all watch, like, snuff videos and shit? You know, the fucked up thing is, I say not to sound old, which means I'm about to fucking sound old. But back in my day, you know, you didn't have easy access to videos of people being murdered. Whereas now, if you just have a Reddit, you scroll through that motherfucker. I see like 4 or 5 executions a day. I see brutal fights. I see like motherfuckers like stabbing their girlfriends. That's just Reddit. And you know, that used to be the shit you would only see on Halloween. You know, when I was a kid, you know, one of my buddies, he lived above a convenience store that his family ran. His family's store, it had a fucking special room in the back that had videos, and they would rent videos. And in this little room was all the most vile shit you would ever want to see. AKA now shit you can easily access on the internet at any given time. But we didn't have easy access to snuff films. So what we would do for Halloween is we would rent, they would have porno, but of like freaks, you know, people, extra genitalia, deformed genitalia, various, I don't want to get too deep into it, but you get what I'm saying, freak porno. And then on top of it, we would get some Faces of Death. For those of you who don't know, Faces of Death is essentially videos like, you know, you see a dude get eaten by an alligator.
The most terrible thing that I have ever witnessed was one evening I come out on the patio and I see this man coming down in a parachute, and he landed right in the crop pit.
You see a guy in the fucking the electric chair. You see, like, you know, barbaric shit where they're like eating monkeys' brains while the monkey's still alive, and just really fucked up stuff. And the video itself sucked. But if it's Halloween and you turn the volume down and you just let that run and you got like a heavy metal playlist, dude, you've got the Halloween vibe ready to roll. Now, by today's standards, what would that be? You'd have to have like hardcore, like, you know, throats being slit and beheadings and shit for anyone to be shocked. But I started just typing out some of my favorite sort of Halloween themed songs, and I ended up already with just like 20 off the top of my fucking head. This can be your playlist. I put this playlist up on the Kill Rock Radio Spotify. Here's a link right here. Check it out. Let that motherfucker roll if you're doing your Halloween themed party and all that shit. Now, your Halloween house party playlist. You gotta have some music that's kick-ass and fun. You need to have shit that is danceable. Do not get caught up in this bullshit. Heavy metal fans do this shit all the time. It's an arms race of who can put the heaviest, most brutal shit. We need music that motherfuckers can dance to, can drink to, and laugh to, and just fucking have a merry ass time. So like I said, these were just like the first songs I was thinking of. Like I said, before I knew it, I was 20 deep. So let's go over a few of these. First off, Dream Warriors by Dokken. That's what's opening the shit up. Dokken came through with a few super tasty jams, and one of those was the theme song to Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, Dream Warriors. It might be a hot take here, but I think that may very well be the best of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. I understand everybody, it's pretty much universally agreed Nightmare on Elm Street 1 is the GOAT Nightmare on Elm Street. But at the same time, if you look at what that character became, the Freddy Krueger character, overall, the greatest depiction that has like the fun campiness of what Freddy would become, along with like the legit scariness of what Freddy started out at, that's Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. The 80s are a very Halloween vibe, Stranger Things, shit like that. So yeah, Dream Warriors by Dokken. I got Secular Haze by Ghost, which Secular Haze, for those of you who haven't heard it, it's almost like a prom song or like a song from a debutante's ball, but in hell. You know that the fog is here. It's such a fun vibe. People always hate on Ghost by saying, oh, it's Scooby-Doo music. Well, what is better for Halloween than some motherfucking Scooby-Doo music? Secular Haze is a must-have. There's a ton of Ghost songs that you could go with. Almost all the Ghost songs would fit in here. Don't go too satanic. You don't want to freak people out. Even though it is Halloween, there's a higher ceiling for that sort of behavior. Once you start getting into like, talking in Latin and shit like that, people start to get a little freaked out. You don't want to bring the whole thing down. Anyways, Mr. Crowley by Ozzy. Oh, Mr. Crowley. What makes that song creepy is the fact that it is about a real life human being, one Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley, a famous occultist. He started his own religion, I believe, and the guy was just wild as fuck. And so this song is about that guy, and of course, coming from Ozzy, delivering it with that fucking signature creepy Ozzy vocal. But this one's a no-brainer. Sweet Dreams, Marilyn Manson. That's a cover of a Eurythmics classic. This is, even though this was not a song that Marilyn Manson wrote, this is kind of like him at the absolute height of his powers. As creepy as he would ever fucking be, not even just the way Manson delivers his vocals, but like all the instrumentation, very, very creepy. But still kind of campy and fun, as is the tendency with Marilyn Manson. He's another one, just like Ghost. You could go 10, 15 deep in terms of songs from Marilyn Manson. Like, you could get Smells Like Children. Just run that motherfucker. Yeah, that could be just as good as your Halloween playlist. So then I go into Hell's Bells, ACDC. When I was a kid, people were much more afraid of AC/DC. At this point, AC/DC is considered, it's even beyond, classic rock. You could put AC/DC in anywhere. Everybody fucking knows it. It's almost like the Beatles. And at the same time, when I was a kid, AC/DC were seen as a very scary band. Like, I remember my aunt would tell me, AC/DC stands for Antichrist Devil Child. And, they all wore the horns and shit like that. So I remember always being creeped out by Hell's Bells. It is definitely a vibe setter. Any decent heavy metal fucking Halloween playlist, there's a few spots you gotta hit. Type O Negative, Black Number 1 is absolutely one of those spots.
Now it's All Hallows Eve.
Type O Negative, another band. You can go 3 or 4 deep. You can go to Halloween in Heaven. You can go to Love You to Death. That's a sexy song. Everybody knows Halloween. When you're a kid, it's about getting candy. When you're an adult, it's about getting that ass. Halloween is the night where everybody is just totally down to clown. But, that's what Halloween's about, y'all. Black Number 1, that's the necessity. From there, you can add a few more, but for sure, Black Number 1. From here, I go a little obscure. Pantera, Avoid the Light. This song really doesn't sound a ton like Pantera, but it's specifically about Dracula.
Avoid the light, the sun's a sight.
They had done this song, I believe, for the movie Dracula 2000. And it's a cool song. It's about Dracula. Throw that motherfucker in there. Next, Shout at the Devil by Motley Crue. Once again, 80s stuff, very Halloween vibe. You conjure up the devil. That's, go-to. But you got to have some Sabbath. It's weird. You could go with Black Sabbath, which is a very, very creepy song, but it is very slow. And every song is about some weird shit. I mean, you could even go to fucking Fairies Wear Boots. There's a lot of ways you could go with Black Sabbath. Halloween by King Diamond. You got to have some King Diamond in there because he does that like high screechy fucking deal and he's screaming about Halloween and shit. That's a fucking vibe setter for sure. Misfits, Dig Up Her Bones. You got to have some Misfits. Point me to the sky above. You can go 4 or 5 deep. One of my absolutely favorite fucking quote unquote scary songs is Pet Cemetery by the Ramones. Because it's written about the Stephen King classic Pet Cemetery. Very deep song, but at the same time super fun and kick-ass, just like a lot of Ramones jams. Bloodletting by Concrete Blonde, which is about Interview with the Vampire. So it's got that like New Orleans vampire vibe. Oh, you a vampire, and baby, I'm walking. But yeah, on Halloween, you gotta embrace all the dark stuff in this world, play some fucking Ouija board, do some like Bloody Mary in the window. And yeah, everybody have an awesome Halloween. Have a safe Halloween. Don't be a dick. Just have fun with it. That's what Halloween is all about. Keep that spirit, the little kid and the candy and all that shit. Keep that energy, but just apply it to like fucking having an awesome time and heavy metal and drinking beers and getting laid and all the just like the greatest shit that life is all about. Enjoy yourself. God damn. Anyways,